Right now the Iranian missiles and drones obviously can't reach us. So how do you inflict pain? This is the best way to do it.
Stryker has fallen victim to a cyber attack causing a devastating global outage to their operations.
The Iran-linked group Handala is claiming it is in retaliation for the bombing of an Iranian girls' school.
At 3:30 a.m. Coordinated Universal Time on March 11, 2026, a single command issued through Stryker's own management console began factory resetting 80,000 devices across 79 countries. No malware, no exploit. Iran-linked operatives had turned the company's legitimate administrative tools into a global kill switch. The question isn't just how they got inside. It's why a $25 billion medical technology giant was chosen as the target. Stryker stands among the world's largest medical technology companies, a Fortune 500 powerhouse with more than 56,000 employees and annual revenue approaching $25 billion. The company's reach extends to 79 countries, supplying everything from robotic surgical systems and defibrillators to orthopedic implants and hospital beds. Its devices connect directly into hospital workflows, emergency medical services, and even the daily routines of surgeons and paramedics. Stryker's product portfolio is not just broad, it is deeply embedded in critical infrastructure. The LifeNet ECG transmission platform, for example, relays heart data from ambulances to hospitals in real time. Mako robotic arms assist in thousands of surgeries each month. Supply chains for trauma kits, joint replacements, and neurosurgical tools depend on Stryker's automated ordering and logistics systems. The company's strategic value goes beyond medicine. A $450 million contract with the United States Department of Defense places Stryker at the heart of military medical supply. Its 2019 acquisition of Israeli-based Orthospace for $220 million brought advanced spinal surgery technology and international political attention into the fold. These business decisions positioned Stryker not just as a healthcare supplier, but as a node in global defense and innovation networks. This scale and interconnectedness meant that any disruption would ripple outward, affecting hospitals, clinics, and military installations around the world. The company's reliance on cloud-based management tools like Microsoft Intune and Entra IAD, designed to streamline operations, created a single administrative pathway capable of reaching tens of thousands of endpoints at once. In the wrong hands, that same infrastructure could become a global kill switch, turning the tools of efficiency into instruments of destruction. Handala did not select Stryker at random. The group's own words, posted hours after the attack, accused Stryker of being a Zionist-rooted corporation that profits from the exploitation of our people, naming its Israeli acquisition and U.S. defense contracts as justification. This was not the language of a criminal extortionist or a digital vandal. It was the language of reprisal, woven into the logic of modern cyber warfare. Handala's manifesto framed the operation as psychological warfare against U.S. allies, directly linking the device wipe to the recent massacre of schoolgirls in Meenab and to broader aggression against the axis of resistance. Handala's public persona blends the iconography of a barefoot cartoon boy, borrowed from Palestinian resistance art, with the technical fingerprints of a state-directed apparatus. The group has claimed attacks on Israeli energy firms, Jordanian infrastructure, and even Lockheed Martin. But the Stryker operation was their first destructive global wiper.
This was what's called a wiper attack. So once the threat actors got into their system, their total goal was just destruction. So all they did was wipe the data off of all of these systems.
Investigators from the Department of Justice and private threat intelligence firms have traced Handala's infrastructure, code signing certificates, and command and control domains back to Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and Security, known as MOIS. The DOJ's March 2026 complaint names Handala as a psychological operations front, run by MOIS operators using overlapping aliases Void Manticore, Storm 0842, and Justice Homeland. Handala's attack playbook is modular. One unit quietly acquires long-term access, often by harvesting credentials and escalating privileges inside cloud platforms like Microsoft Entra YD. A separate operator executes the final destructive command using legitimate admin tools such as Microsoft Intune to trigger a remote wipe. The group's Telegram posts boast that they were inside the network for months before pulling the trigger. This pattern, silent infiltration, public spectacle, and a message aimed far beyond the victim, transforms a technical breach into an act of geopolitical signaling. Stryker's exposure was not just a matter of weak passwords or missing patches. It was the result of business decisions, geopolitical alliances, and the invisible risk that comes when a company's digital infrastructure becomes a proxy battlefield. In mid-2024, the first signs of intrusion at Stryker went unnoticed. The attackers didn't smash their way in. Instead, they slipped through a side door, a phishing email, a single click, and a low-level account quietly compromised. From that foothold, the operation shifted into a slow, methodical hunt for keys. Over the next several months, InfoStealer malware harvested login credentials from desktops and laptops across the company. Every stolen password, every captured token was cataloged and tested. By early 2026, the attackers had assembled a library of 278 unique credential sets. These weren't just ordinary employee logins. The trove included service accounts, privileged users, and even traces of domain administrator hashes. Each credential offered a new vantage point, a fresh opportunity to probe deeper into Stryker's digital infrastructure. The scale of the credential harvesting was staggering. Coalition Security Labs later confirmed that the malware exfiltrated everything from routine user passwords to the secrets that controlled cloud access and remote management tools. The attackers showed patience, moving slowly enough to avoid detection by automated monitoring. There were no alarms, no obvious signs of tampering. Every login, every access attempt appeared legitimate. The attackers relied on the same tools and interfaces trusted by Stryker's own IT staff. They didn't need to exploit a software bug or deploy ransomware. They simply gathered the keys one by one until they were ready to open every door at once. This quiet accumulation of access set the stage for a deeper compromise, one that would eventually give them the power to act as Stryker's own global administrator. By March 2026, the attackers had moved far beyond collecting passwords. Their next step was to claim the highest level of control inside Stryker's digital environment, a role known as Global Administrator within Microsoft, Entra ID. This position is not just another IT credential. It grants the power to create, delete, or modify any user or device across the company's cloud infrastructure, including Microsoft Intune, the platform responsible for managing tens of thousands of Stryker's laptops, tablets, and even personal phones used for work. The decisive action took place just after 2 a.m. UTC on March 8th. Audit logs later revealed a single chilling entry: add member to role global administrator. The attackers did not trigger alarms or trip any malware detectors. They simply used stolen credentials to assign their own account, Stryker Admin Intune, to the top administrative tier. This was not a brute force hack. It was a silent promotion, executed through the same dashboard trusted by Stryker's own IT staff. With global administrator rights, the attackers gained unrestricted access to Intune's device management functions. No vulnerability had been exploited, no malicious software deployed. Every move was made through legitimate interfaces, a textbook example of living off the land. Because Stryker's privileged identity management system lacked strict approval requirements, there was no multi-admin check, no second set of eyes. The attackers now sat at the controls, able to issue commands that would ripple across the globe. The stage was set for a single instruction to become a worldwide catastrophe. At precisely 3:30 UTC on March 11, 2026, a single command was issued from Stryker's own Microsoft Intune admin console. The account, now sitting at the top of the global administrator hierarchy, authenticated to Microsoft Graph API, wielding privileges designed for trusted IT staff. The operation began with an API call to device. Management managed devices batch delete. This was not a hacker scripting in the shadows, but a legitimate administrative action, indistinguishable from routine fleet management. Devices were grouped into batches of 1,000, each payload instructing a factory reset, erasing every trace of corporate and personal data. Within seconds, 200 rapid-fire calls swept through the system, touching endpoints in hospitals, factories, and offices across 79 countries. The infrastructure that was built to keep Stryker running became the means of its global shutdown. There was no malware, no exploit, just the company's own tools, turned against itself with the full weight of administrative authority. The kill switch had been flipped, and the consequences began to unfold. Nearly 80,000 devices, scattered across 79 countries, began to vanish from Stryker's network within minutes. Laptops and tablets used by engineers, sales teams, and hospital support staff all received the same silent command: factory reset, wipe everything. Hospital order systems froze mid-transaction. Production lines that ran on automated scheduling ground to a halt. Employees in offices from Singapore to Sao Paulo watched as their screens went blank, files and applications erased with no warning. There was no evidence of malware, no ransom demand, no telltale signs of a classic cyber attack.
In a statement, Stryker told us in part, quote, "Stryker is experiencing a global network disruption to our Microsoft environment as a result of a cyber attack. We have no indication of ransomware or malware and believe the incident is contained."
This is not just give them a few days and they're going to be up and running. They are going to be recovering from this probably for several months. If you're a global company and you don't have confidence in your cybersecurity measures, this would definitely be a wake-up call.
The destruction was carried out entirely by Stryker's own management infrastructure, Microsoft Intune, operating under the highest level of administrative privilege. Each action was logged as if performed by a trusted IT administrator. The company's global device fleet, once a symbol of efficiency, had become the vector for its own erasure. In the aftermath, the full extent of the wipe, 80,000 endpoints across every continent, stood as proof that the most devastating weapon was the one already inside the gates. No malware, no zero-day, just global admin credentials, Microsoft Intune, and Entra ID turned into a weapon at geopolitical scale. Today, business alliances can dictate cyber risk as much as technical flaws. When retaliation comes, ordinary IT tools become instruments of policy. The next target may never see it coming.